Hey guys, We Quilt Studio here. I finally decided on a quilting design for my Rebel quilt. And if you recall throughout the last few videos, I kept mentioning that I wanted it to be organic, or I tossed around the idea of it being organic, but I couldn't figure out how to do that given the fact that I really wanted to depend on that new wave ruler that I purchased. So this is the design that I kind of fell in love with after all of my quandering. And basically, I'll show you in the next few slides on how I arrived at this. You can see it looks rather organic. Okay, so I basically just loaded some scrap fabric. That's actually like velvet, fake velvet or satin, fake satin. I'm not sure, but I just loaded it on it, and then I loaded these faux blocks that I created, and I'm going to just go through my whole process that I finally made a decision on for the Rebel quilt, the quilting process. So I'll just go from start to end just on this little scrap here. And that's why I put those two blocks on there so that I could somehow simulate me going over my applique. So let's go to that camera. So I have a basting line in red up here that I already stitched. So that's going to simulate my straight basting line that's, at the top of my backing. But now I have to make a basting line to line up my wave ruler too. So that's going to be 1¼ inches from this line. It really should probably be 1½ inches if you're on a real quilt, because 1¼ means that I'm going to have a ½ inch between my wave and this basting line. So I'll go 1½. So 1½ inches. If I go with 1½, then I could just be 1¼ from the back of the ruler, because you have a 1/4 inch here. This measurement here on this one is 1¼ Let me see on my other one. What do I have? I just have 1⅛, a half, and a 1/4 on the Westalee. So steady. Or I could use the ruler, either way. I could just go to the 1¼ put that one in. Am I doing 1 yeah, because if I want 1½, so I put the 1¼ on the basting line and just butt it up against the back of the foot, or I could use this if I wanted. And I know this is 1¼ so I could line this up with that basting line. Oh, but it's hard to put this up against this since it's so thin. That's right. So we'll go with the ruler. So 1 1/4. Even this one is, I have to tilt it up a little because it's not a thick ruler. I guess I could use one of my other rulers. I don't know any of them have measurements, but I hit my horizontal channel lock. I have this one from years ago. It has no markings on it. I had to draw some in, but I do like this one for certain things. Hartley. This one is a Dritz, stitch in the ditch and 1/4 inch stitching. I've had this for years. This has a 1 1/4, but you know, so it's right there. So I'd put that mark on the back line. 1 1/4. But then, you know, you have to go up to this. So looks like I'm off a little according to this ruler, but who knows? We'll go down a little. Okay. So many ways to use that, right? So many options. I'm just going to make a simple tie on. So I'll just go needle down and then hold it. I'll move over 1, 2, 3. That's good enough. And then I'll hold the thread and do my horizontal. Oh, I have to be on based, and it's going to be 1 inch. Here we go. I'm just pressing so I don't push the fabric, you know, so you go like this with your fingers. There's a hole in my ruler plate for the camera that they don't make anymore. And I could just stop here. And I'll just kind of do a simple tie again. I was practicing something because I miss doing swirls, right? I've been working on these serpentines. Okay, so that's done. I could take off my channel locks. So now I line up the ruler. I'm using this top one. I line it up with one of the Pics, or all the Pics, but the bottom row of the Pics. So here, 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 and here. But I can only stitch from here to here because of the way I hold my hand. So I'm going to line this line up with my vertical basting line. And then these bottom rows of the Pics, not the valleys. I did that once. So we've got two-dimensional references here. We've got this line on the vertical, and then these little intersections on that basting line. Okay. And so I'll just kind of bring this over, and I'll hold the thread and do a needle down and a needle up. I'll just pull it away, and then when I bring it back, a lot of times what I like to do is I like to put the thread under the ruler. Do I have both of them? Yeah. Oh, my bobbin thread is gray. And I like to, you know, hold the threads like that as I'm pressing on the ruler. Now let's readjust. Okay. And I've been putting my thumb here on this edge so that I'm like catty corner to it. And 2 fingers here, and then this finger in the valley right here. And I'll press with this finger once the needle gets down there. Right now I'm just kind of gently pressing, but I'll press in that direction when I get down there. So I'm just going to press it down for a minute while I do needle down. I'm going to press here on the thread. Needle down. And I'm actually going to do a tie on. Let's go to Coast Regulate. 12 and 9, 12 stitches per inch and 9 speed. I'm on a gamble, so it's a little different than most machines. And I'll just do like a tie. Okay. And here we go. I got my fingers again. And I'm slanted catty corner. I'm off to the left of the machine because that helps me keep my hand at this angle. Here we go. Now I'm pressing with my ring finger. And oh, I stopped right on. Okay. So I'll line it up again in the same spot. I'm checking up here to make sure it looks good. Line these up. Get my thumb in there, my ring finger in the valley, and these 2 on top. And I'm off to the side. Pressing with my ring finger. Okay, I'm doing better, you know, because I'm off to the side so I can't see if I overshoot it or not. So my ruler is slightly to the right of the needle, so I'll line it up that way again. Checking everything up there and here. Okay, looking good. I've done this like 100 times. I should be good, right? Okay. The stitching on this fake velvet or whatever it is, it really does look really good. I hate to say it, even though it's fake and full of chemicals. Okay. Okay, it looks like I'm not going to make it to the end, but maybe I'll try to make it to the end. Or maybe I'll stop at the valley and then readjust. Oh, that's weird. I like these little holes. I wish I always had that to put my finger on top of. Okay, and I'll put my vertical channel lock on and do a tie. All right. Okay, so now I'll take out the basting stitch, which It may not be exactly, you know, real easy because I've got like really crummy batting, like fake batting. I got sweatshirt material as my batting, but let's see if I can. Oh, good, I broke the bobbin thread. That's good. So let's see how well I can just grab them out. Yeah, so if I cut maybe 5 in, or what is that? Probably like 6 inches. Well, that one's not going to work. And then pull in the center. I'm getting them up. It's kind of quick. So let's see. See if I can. Now, I can only pull every 2 stitches, it seems. It would have been quicker just to pull every 2 stitches, to be honest, rather than cutting, you know, just going like this. And then down here, I have to get the bobbin thread up. Before I cut it, I'm going to grab the bobbin thread underneath. I just pulled it out. So I'm just going to throw these out. I saved a bunch of them from all my practice, but we're not going to save these. So there it is. It's got a 1/2 inch from peak to valley. It's beautiful. And now we're just going to echo it every inch all the way through the whole entire quilt. To echo it, we're going to use our 1/4 inch echo foot from Westalee, and that's in the links are in the description for this foot. So I'm going to bring the machine over, put on my channel locks, get my threads to the back, push it in so my needle is up, push it in, and then take the threads, make sure both threads are under this. And then I have to get it started by kind of holding it up a little and then taking the hand wheel and dialing the needle all the way down, and keep dialing it till the needle comes all the way up. And it's caught, but I can't get it up the rest of the way with my fingers, and I think it's because my foot is irregular. So, or not, I'm not sure. Each of these feet is slightly different for me. So I've got my 2 screwdrivers. I'll slide one in the back, one in the front, and when they're almost touching the foot, I can start to twist it a little. I can start to pivot the screwdrivers. Or rotate them. For some reason that back one's not. Okay, there, because I didn't have the front one rotating. So I'm kind of spinning them so that they're up. Now, once they're up most of the way, I can take my finger front and back and jiggle them up. I want to be able to feel the foot here, and then there's about 1/8 of an inch underneath. The foot is sticking out like about 1/8 of an inch underneath, like the thickness of a regular ruler. So, but remember, my threads are stuck down in the bobbin because I did that needle down. So before I do anything now, take your seam ripper and swoosh it under to release those threads. And then undo the channel locks. And since I want a 1-inch spacing and this is a 3/4 inch guide, I'm going to try and stay a 1/4 inch away. Now, I can't really see this line, so I'm going to have to quilt by shadow. Okay, it's going to be hard for me, but let's see if I can take the light over here. Okay, that's a little better. Okay, I think everything looks good. I think everybody can see. There's going to be a shadow. Once I get closer to the light, it's going to cause a shadow, but I have the light way down at the end. But so we'll take our thread here. And again, I can't really see that, but I'm a 1/4 inch away. And I'll do a needle down. So I'm still on Coast Regulate 12 and 9. Notice I used that even with the ruler because it was just, you know, it was fine and it was just continuous, and it's 12 and 9. 9 on the speed is not really that fast, I don't think. So I'll just put on my vertical channel lock and I'll do a quick tie. Okay, take them off because I always seem to forget. And I know in my previous videos, I had all these crazy ideas about how I'm going to walk because my swirls were all funky because I couldn't walk smoothly. And it finally dawned on me when I watched Stitch by Susan when she was doing Serpentines in that short video. She was facing straight on, you know, and just, you know, walking like this with her feet. You know, I call it waddling like a duck. I don't know how else to describe it. She obviously wasn't waddling, but so my previous videos where I said I was pivoted to the right, like maybe at a 45 and just walking like that, I don't think I had as much control over the smoothness because I wasn't straight on looking at it. And when I watched her video and just saw how she was concentrating on what she was doing, well, she was looking straight at it. So that's why now I tried it with the waddling for walking, just kind of stepping short little steps, you know, like that. It did seem to work better for me. So that's what we're going to do. And it's really cool because my new idea with making that 1/4 inch, when we're all done, we're going to come back and do a 1/4 inch freehand, 1/4 inch echo. It doesn't even matter if I'm sloppy here because once you put that 1/4 inch echo in, everything looks organic and it looks good. So I'm so glad that I stumbled upon that. So here we go. I'm just watching to see that I'm a 1/4 inch away from this. All right. Oops, I didn't make it to the end. I think a couple times I got pretty close. You know, I wasn't a 1/4 inch away, but vertical channel lock. And that's what I'm going to do for the whole length of the quilt. So if this were a full quilt, I'd be doing that all the way down. And I said several times that I would probably reset myself every 5 rows using the ruler again. But who knows? Let's see how I do. I may not. You never know. That's why I wanted to do it with something wide enough to see what it looks like. So yeah, that's not bad. So let's keep going. Try to be quicker. Okay. Just did my tie quickly, and here we go. Whoa. See how I I'm getting really organic here. Whoa. That was organic. I'm more than a 1/4 inch away even sometimes. Okay. So the last one, the last row, I was getting too close. Now this one, I was getting too far. Oh, well. Now the next row, it looks like I'm going to be banging into my applique. Now you'll notice how I had to put these appliques on. This really isn't what the quilt's going to look like. Okay, notice that this here, try to ignore it. I didn't know how to get this fabric to lay down on this fake fur, so I just pressed the edges under and the corners and everything. So, and then I'm like, well, how am I going to tack it down? I'm not going to just do a straight line because it looks so ugly, especially when I do it. And then you have these things where the ruler foot might catch. It still might catch, but so kind of disregard these edges that where it's tacked down and try to think that this is just a block in the quilt, you know, and it's attached to other blocks, you know, and maybe this is the sashing, pretty wide sashing, and here's another block, but it's this in the center, okay, that is my applique, my foxes. Let me grab one. And remember, they're not all foxes on my quilt, but you know, that would be my fox on a block. And my foxes actually are overlapping over the quilt block. And I kind of wanted that because I wanted it to be all crazy and rebellious. So, and these will be blanket stitched to each block, and I haven't done that yet. But so these are blanket stitched, but this one is really not good. This is 1 millimeter, 3 stitches at 1 millimeter stitch length, you know, that I showed you, and that looks terrible. This one looks really good. This is how it's going to be, how these foxes are going to be appliqued down, just like this. So these stitch lengths are 1.5 mils. Let me zoom in. These stitch lengths are 1.5 mils, and there's 3 of them. So that's 4.5 mils between each swing over, and the swing over is 3 mils in length, the little leg. So that's how these foxes will be tacked down to each block or each part of the quilt. So that's the part I really want to see, how if my foot catches coming over. I don't think it will because that's pretty tight. And I just want to see how it looks, even though these are different appliques. I just want to kind of see. But I'm worried I am going to have a problem here, but I'm at the front of the quilt, which is why I'm trying to perfect my freehand work. I don't want to be doing a panto in the back. So I'm going to be at the front of the quilt watching this. And I do have a spoon foot. I have a plastic one that's clear, see-through aftermarket. I actually, where did I get that? I might have gotten it on eBay. And who was the seller? He was really nice. He writes back and everything, but here's my open toe foot and it's clear. There was something I had to adjust on the adapter. So this is the adapter that comes with it, you know, and these things goes in like that. And then this, you take your foot off and this goes in just like you'd put in a regular foot. But I did have to sand down. I might have had to sand this down. And I did it with, I bought this at Home Depot, 120 grit abrasive cloth. And I think I just rubbed it on. I took this and rubbed it on there because you have to shorten it just by like one, you know, thread, one little thread, because you want you can't really get the foot on if the foot is down, you know, too low. And of course you can move it up and down this as well. But I have this screwed tight. I don't want to break it. So, but anyways, I might have some videos on that. I think I do. So, anyways, so I was like, oh, I can use my spoon foot so that I won't catch here. But then I was like, well, yeah, but you have to use your ruler foot for the echo guide and to do the first wave. And there's no way I'm going to be changing back and forth. And for those of you who have a Gamel, the Gamel doesn't even have a clear ruler foot. Theirs is, or clear spoon foot. Theirs is solid steel or whatever it is. And so I just like when they're clear. I think it's so much better, even though they're cheap, you know, and who knows, you might break it someday or whatever, but they need to be clear. And there's an open toe in here and all kind of stuff. So, yeah, so I'm going to have to really be careful. I'll have to really be careful that I don't do that. And if I do, so what? It's not, it's just practice, and my real quilt doesn't have these, so I better quit pulling on it. I could have stayed closer or made my, because this is all freehand, you know. I could have stayed closer or made these tighter. I don't know. I wasn't thinking. So anyways, here we go. So I'm going to be, let's see, when I get over here, I'm a 1/4 inch away. And yeah, when I come down here, I'm at a 1/4 inch, and look at how it's going to interfere with these. It's going to look bad. So maybe what I'll do is I don't know. I don't know what to do. As I come down, maybe I'll just try to stay farther away. I'll just wing it. So I'm going to go a heavy quarter away from the top. And you say, well, you could just make it skinnier over there, but no, I'm just going to go wider. So I'm going to quickly do my tie. I'm not even going to use the vertical channel lock. Okay, here we go. That was actually easier to stay that far away, to be honest. It was just easier on my brain to stay farther away. I wonder if that's going to be my ticket. I don't know. I mean, look at how wide that is. They just keep getting wider and wider. Well, how many years can I practice this before I do it on a real quilt? No, this is going to be my last practice. I'm telling you, I'm sick of practicing this. Yeah, look at that. That's pretty wide. Well, it's a lot wider, but once I put the 1/4 inch echo in, it's not going to be as bad. But I had to do it because of this. So look at here, I did okay here. I didn't interfere, and look, I went right over that, and it didn't catch. And this one too is not big. Oh, it really went wide there. And again, I didn't even catch. That's great. All right. So let's see. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That means I'm supposed to do another wave. Should I? Should I do another wave and get back on track like I said I was going to? I mean, if I do, I'll really be off, I'm sure, especially over here. Because if you think about it, you know, after 5 times of copying it, okay, if I started here and let's see, I'm going to be 1 inch away. So I would measure 1.25 inches. Again, I'll just use the ruler. Say, 1.25 inches, I'll put it on there. So basically, like that, I'm lined up there. But you can definitely see that, it's going to be organic. I'm definitely not on. And if I hold my finger there, when I get to, and put it there, when I get to the applique here, I mean, I'm off. My peaks are off a little. It's off here. Here it's one way, here it's the other way. I don't know what to do. So no channel lock, go 1.25 inch away, and we're just gonna trust ourselves. Okay, here we go. I'm going slow through here. Oh, I really got far away. I don't know why. When I get down here, why do I start going so far away? And that means my line's not straight anymore. I might have to refocus myself. I know Stitched by Susan uses painter's tape to, you know, refocus herself, you know, like you could put your channel lock on and then, you know, refocus yourself that way. But yeah, because, okay, if I were to go to the very lowest of right here and put my channel lock on, let's see how straight I went on that one. I'm not bad. Okay, look how high up that is. Okay, you can see I'm off by a heavy quarter. So maybe on this one, I have to start, you know, a heavy quarter away, and when I get towards the end, then start getting narrow. Because if that's what I'm doing, ugh, this is going to be scary when I do a real quilt. See, now I'm losing my confidence again. Come on, Lisa, get it together. Okay, so I'm going to stay away a heavy, like a ½ inch. Okay, here we go. Now I'm going to get thinner. Okay. So now, vertical channel lock. Let's see. Let's see how I did. Really messing this up. Okay. So if I go to my lowest spot here, say right there, and put on my channel lock, let's see how I am. Okay. Well, I'm lower right there. Yeah, I messed up right there. Darn it. Right on the white. Black on white, and you had to mess up, Lisa. Oh, well. Okay, well, that ain't low. That's not low. That's close, but I don't know. Well, I'm still off. So I still gotta correct myself over here. I'm really messing up. I don't know. Maybe I should do the old refocus with the ruler thing. Let's get way down here. Oh, and I'm getting close to the end. I'm going to roll my quilt. All right. Try it again. Oh, I'm really far down. I don't know what I was thinking. Okay. Things are really turning bad. Oh, gosh. I might have to just follow a panto. Oh, what am I doing? I broke my bobbin thread. Oh, well, I don't know. It's so dark for me. Okay. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Now it's like my center is low. The lowest part is here. Let's see down here. Oh, now I'm too high. There. That's low. Look how wide I went. And then over here, I'm like a 1/4 inch away. Oh, the lowest spot is I'm a 1/4 inch away, but this one I'm still crazy messed up. So I'll try to, I don't know, should I put the painter's tape down? Instead of the painter's tape, I could use my, you know, the tape measure. You know, people call it like a centering tape sometimes, but I have to put it in the exact spot on both sides of my rails. Okay, so I'm going to be stitching like here, you know, and there. That's not going to help me. That's probably why she uses painter's tape. So, you know, you could put your channel lock on and put your painter's tape, but I could measure this, say, way up here. Okay, I know it's straight where it is because I have it in the same spot on the side rails. If I measure, say, 2 inches up, because I can't put it up here, it's going to be in my way, really, of watching the serpentine. So if I measure 2 inches up on these rails, let me go to the other camera. Okay, so this edge here, you know, is the same on both sides. So, and I have this on here, this leather, piece of leather. I was using this as a gauge at one point. Is that 2 inches away? It actually is. This top of it is 2 inches away. So if I put it on there, and then just go down to the other end and you know, measure 2 inches up from here. I guess I don't have a piece of leather on this one, so I'll have to put it this way, 2 inches there, and then put that, pull it tight, you know, the Velcro. And oh, but then I have all this junk here. This is getting in my way. So I think that was where I have to kind of lower everything. So I just moved my yardstick, you know, instead of it being here, I'll move it down. And then this can float on top. It's still, let me do the other side. So I'll just move this down because I don't have like anything for it to catch on my foot or anything, because I made these, you know, I made this contraption, these side things, and they're just pinned. So nothing, the foot never really hits. The only thing it could hit is like this here, but I'm so far away from it, you know. So now this is free. So you can kind of see, I focus. So I'm stitching like right there. So it seems like, you know, when I'm a 1/4 inch away up there or a half, I'm about 3/4 away from this. So I don't know. So how does it look as we go down? Let's see. But I can definitely see how close it is in the center. You know, that I really have to get tight in the center. And then over here, look how much space I have. But in the center, I have, you know, hardly any space. It's a big difference. I could measure it, but whatever. And then down here, it's kind of big, but not as big as the very beginning. So it's all messed up. So I guess I could use this instead of tape. So let's see how I do. I don't know if I can do this, guys, on a real quilt. See, I'm getting nervous again. So I'm pretty wide here. So I'm gonna start pretty far down. Well, I wanted to be organic, right? Really organic. Okay. So when I get towards the center, I got to tighten up, and I'll know it because I'll be getting too close to this, right? So here we go. Okay, I took a more confident trip there. I think, oh, something got caught on there. I think because I had this down, I felt more confident. I really like this permacore. I remember when I first got it. I really like it. And I remember when I started buying Omni, I thought to myself, I like the permacore better than the Omni. Now I don't know which one I like better. So let's see what kind of distance we have. So down here, I'm at about, from the lowest point, well, this is low, but I'll just count this one, or maybe this one, I don't know. So I'm at about 1 inch or so. And then down here, the lowest point, I'm a little bit bigger there. I'm at about the same, 1.125 inches. Here, the lowest point, I'm at about 1.125 inches. See, I kind of got back on track almost. There, I'm really close. I'm at, is that 1 inch? Okay. So I wanted to go organic. Look at how organic I am. Look at in here how organic I am. Look how wide this is. Look at this. It's starting to look like, you know, that organic feeling that I wanted. This is too straight. So there you go. It's going to be organic. Well, well, well. Okay, let's roll this. What I could do so that I don't have to keep adjusting my tape, I can't roll it with every turn, every row. Because I was thinking, you know, I could always keep my stitching right where this is. That would be a pain. But, you know, maybe not. Maybe not. If that's the case, then I need to roll back a hair. Everything's going to fall. All right. So I'm relatively doing pretty good. But let me tell you, I am not, I'm not consistent anymore. Okay, let's see how I do. So I'm a 1/4 inch away up there. Should I try and maintain that? Let me go down a hair. All right, let's see. I do feel more confident with that tape on. And it's okay to be organic. Oh, I broke my thread. I think, yeah, this thread, it's not as strong as Omni, but it is old. It is old. I mean, look at how smooth that is. And that's, again, from my other videos, that's closer to what I'm comfortable doing. I'm comfortable doing 3/8 from peak to valley, this distance right in here. 3/8 of an inch. And that's probably what that is. I didn't want to go back up into this, you know, because of these serpentines, but on my regular quilt I would have, but it's still fine. It looks pretty organic. Gee, with it being this organic, do I need to do the 1/4 inch lines? Now I'm second guessing that. I kind of messed up there. So I got pretty thin there. But my gap from the tape is pretty consistent. Now it looks like I had my light on for that whole time. So let's see. I'm still high right here at the very beginning, but you can kind of see I got my act together a little bit better. So that's the ticket. Now, am I going to bang in? I don't have a lot of room there. I'm going to go up just a hair because I do want to stay close to that tape. So if I just do that and go up a hair every row, that's not that much work. I am going to come pretty close to it. I'm going to go up a little more. So I can hear the clicks. That was 4 clicks. So maybe like 8 clicks each time, something like that. That's pretty good. All right. Well, it's not bad. And I'm almost done. I do pretty good when I'm just doing my natural wave. And I'm staying relatively horizontal. And now look, I'm really close down here, but I'm pretty consistent. So I'm going to do the 8 clicks. Let's see. Okay. So now I probably, maybe 8 clicks was too much, but I have, you know, this basting line to see. So I guess that's fine. I probably didn't even need to do the tape. Duh. The tape is lower than the basting line. Okay. So I could get 2 more rows in. So now I think I'm pretty, you know, I'm safe. I'm glad I recovered before it really got, you know, slanted, you know, instead of horizontal. Okay, here we go. I'm just going to stay a 1/4 inch away for once. You could see when I first start out, I'm a little messed up. My waves they're not right. They're too stretched out. And I don't know if I should, you know, readjust them and make them right or just keep following. I'm not sure what I should do. Because that very first, you know, peak and valley, see that? That's really not bad. That's not bad. But at the beginning, like here, I've kind of stretched out. But like right here, this one, these two, I really kind of messed them up. I'm going to do my last one and try to, I don't know what I'll try to do. I'll try to maybe come down. I mean, I don't know if I'm actually skipping a peak or what. I see what I'm doing. Okay, I just saw it. I'm actually starting this one too soon. This has to be stretched out, and then that will make this one shorter. Okay, because you could see up here, it's stretched out before I do the peak, but then I slowly started making my peaks sooner. You know, that was stupid. I don't know how I did that. So I have to just remember now to do that down here. And if I put that 1/4 inch echo in, that'll just kind of blend in. Okay, so I'm going to make my peak, my first peak. Whoa, it's way over here. Wait. Oh, you know why? Because this wasn't supposed to be a valley. I'm supposed to come in with a peak. You can kind of see it up there. So I'm supposed to be a peak. I might have to pin this. This is a peak. Okay, right here. I'll put a pin where my peaks are. And this is a peak right here. And then this is a peak. So I was supposed to start out with a peak. That was my whole problem. So I'll start it a little lower so that I could start with a peak. So it's going to go, I'm going to come up, down, up, up, down. I should draw it, to be honest. I don't know. I can't see it. Oh, well, we're going to have to wing it. I thought it started with a valley because, you know, I started here. But yes, it starts with a valley, but it goes straight up to a peak right away. So this is actually the peak right here, to be honest. But I'll just make it sooner. So I'll just follow these. These are where my peaks are. And when I turn the light on, I can see the line. You may not be able to see it, but I can, the curve that I drew. It's going to be wide right here, but I'll have to try to, I don't know, wing it a little bit. All right, here we go. Okay. I think I did it. Because I don't think I need another, I don't need another row. So I'm at the very bottom. Okay. So here I maybe could use something, but I could always do that later. So here was my peak. Look, I really made a peak there, didn't I? Well, this just looks just weird, you know, being all straight like that. And if I did do a 1/4 inch echo, I could, you know, make it really organic and come up higher there and so on. And there's my peak there. See, this is going to be a funny shape in here, but oh well. So I pretty much got back on track, so that's good. Let's go to this one. If I keep my hand out of the way, let's take these out. So if I try and pan slowly, let's go up here. I mean, it's organic, that's for darn sure. It looks good right there. It's just my beginning is all messed up. Maybe I'm having a hard time with it starting in the valley like that. No, I think now that I understand what I did wrong, I think I should be okay, but you can see how your mistakes just can escalate or can not accumulate, but what's the word I want? Multiply exponentially. So there it is on the you know, applique. Not bad. So that's kind of how it would look. Which camera am I on? I don't even know. Oh, I'm on the one I'm not crazy about. So, yeah, I really kind of messed this up, but like something like this with this white here and it looking all funky, this is where that 1/4 inch echo would really help. So, and I would be putting it above each line because I would line up the regular foot. Let me take this off. So I'll put my channel locks on and I'll just take my fingers front and back and wiggle it down and then push it back. So yeah, I would take my finger or my foot on, you know, and line up the front edge of the foot and do my 1/4 inch like that, just like we normally would. It's just easier to see the front of the foot rather than trying to line up the back. So I'll go on to, you know, above each one. So I would have to go above my very first one that I did. So I'm glad I started 3/4 of an inch away, you know, from my peak. Remember 3/4 of an inch, but I measured it 1 1/4 from the foot because it's a 1/2 inch. It's a whole thing. I did it in the other video. So yeah, now I have to decide. So let me kind of to try to get a a full visual of everything. So when they're wide like that, you can see all the mistakes, to be honest. So that's why putting in the 1/4 inch echo might just be what I need. Even on the spots that are really close together. I mean, you know, what are you going to do? I just also think it'll give it some flair. Well, I mean, this is plain fabric on the quilt. The quilt already has flair with all those damn appliques. But okay, so we're going to do the 1/4 inch echo. I mean, that's what I planned anyways, right? So let's go for it. So if I'm going to go above each one, I could stay at the bottom here and work my way up, to be honest. And I'm actually going to try to go all the way left and then go right. Left, right, left, right. I'm going to try to do that so I don't have to keep breaking thread. And I don't know if I'll be able to do that on the regular 1 inch, you know, Serps, but at least on these, I think I should try it because what the heck, it's at this point, it's all organic, right? So let's get these all off. So we're going to go for it. All right. So I'm going to watch the front of the foot. We're going to keep the front of the foot lined up with the line so that we get a 1/4 inch spacing. And I don't need this tape anymore. I'm just going to undo it. All right, here we go. Okay, that looks really good. I can't believe how good I did on that. Okay, I'm going to put my vertical channel lock on and just go up. And let's see, take them off. Don't forget to take them off, Lisa. And we're going to see how I do going back. Now I've got my cord in the way though for this. Because I'm going into the cord. Okay, well, we'll see. Okay, here we go. You could see where I took a step. I waited too long. Oh, I better quit talking. Oh, that's the one where I messed up. Remember, I was going to make that better. I really did not do a good job on that. That was hard for me, going to the right. I don't know if I want to do that. I mean, I should just to practice. I mean, you're never going to get better if you don't practice, you know. And I have to remember to shuffle and take my steps or waddle or whatever I'm calling it now. Yeah, that's really screwed up. Oh, vertical channel locks. Okay, this next one is going to be, I'm tying off because it's going to be impinging on my applique. So I'm too nervous to go right to left. I'm going to chicken out. So see right here, I got to decide, like, what am I going to do? Yeah, I have to decide, am I going to just try and stay skinny right here and skinny there? And then over here, I'm going to have to go on it. So I'll make it wider. And then here, I'm going to have to go on it. But here, I don't know. Should I just go on it and make it really wide? I don't know. I can't decide. I guess I'll decide when I get there. Right? We're just going organic. All right, here we go. Okay. I mean, it's not bad. It's not bad. I don't know how I feel about these stripes. I don't know which one I like better now. I'm looking at them both. When I break thread or when I get halfway up, we'll take a look at them both. So on this next row, I just feel so much more comfortable going left to right. I'm going to chicken out again. So now you can see it. So you can kind of see, okay, maybe not there, but because it's kind of bright over there. So over here, you can kind of see 1/4 inch ones and then the 1 inch ones. Let me come down farther. It doesn't really look, can't really get a good visual. But then for here, okay, I'm gonna stay clear of this corner. So I'm gonna come up. Okay. And for this one, you know, I think I'm gonna stay clear of these blanket stitches. Maybe. Yeah. So, yeah, this is interesting. I am so fickle. I just keep changing my mind. Okay. Here we go. Now this one I'm really far from there, so I'm going to start up a little and swing down in. Oh, I said I was gonna, oh, I kind of crisscrossed on that one. I crisscrossed on that one. Oh, well. I stayed fluid, but I crisscrossed. I'm still gonna, once I get past the applique, maybe I'll go right to left. You could see over here, you know, I did okay. I thought I was gonna, what was I gonna do? Oh, it was the other one. Yeah, I'm not sure. So I was okay there. I caught that corner. That's fine. But here, look, I was all, because I couldn't even see in there because my light is off. And yeah, I don't know. Did I come down and then up? I got back on track, but that's fine. This is still looking bad over here because this is when I really started messing up. All right, so we're going to start a little farther up on this one too. You know, see how wide this is. We had to do that. Let's see, yeah. So, okay, this one is where I do want to stay, well, we'll just do it normal. Notice how there I had to stay relatively narrow, you know, on my 1/4 inch because the quilting, the spacing, the 1-inch spacing was narrow right in through here. So I tried to get narrower. But yeah, I'm liking it now. I'm liking it just looking at that. I think it's really pretty. And then I was really nervous going in through here. I really wanted to make this one pretty, you know, so I really made that very nice. And then here I wanted to make this wider because there's just so much white in here. You know, I made this so wide right here. So I didn't do a real good job of making it wide, but it's good enough. And then not bad. I got a little wider there. I wanted to. Okay, we're getting there. This one is just can be normal for once. See how good I do though. Here we go. I had a hard time walking. I don't know if you could tell. I kind of got points in there. I wasn't walking consistently like I've been trying to do, you know, shuffling. I got to remember to do that. Sometimes I say to myself, oh, I don't want to walk right now because I want this to be smooth. And then you're too late from taking a step for the next curve, you know, for the next peak. So, yeah, like here, right about here, I had to take a step, but it's okay once it's like if it were a quilt, once it's washed. But then over here, I really got a little, I got messed up. I couldn't walk, you know, like I was way behind. My body was way to the left because I paused my walking, you know, over there. So these are pointy here. These two, this one's not bad, but this is messed up. But then I kind of got better. But it's fine though. I think all in all, I'm really liking it. Oh, I'm so glad I did it. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's practice some more. Okay, just remember you're walking. Boy, my whole issue, not my whole issue, one of my issues is the walking. Okay, we're going to shuffle. Okay, we're going to shuffle right from the beginning. I don't know if I should zoom in a little. You have to do it with your fingers, and I don't like that. I can try that view for this pass. I did okay, some of it. I do have a big mistake right over there. I'll show you. And I think I'm going to move this down, roll it down. But yeah, right there, that's one of my biggest mistakes. It's pretty bad. But what are you going to do? But this one looks good. I like it. It looks really good. Let me see if I can move off of it. Yeah, it looks really good. I'm happy with it. Let me see if it's dark enough to see. Oh, it looks so cute. This is a monument of some sort. I don't know what it is. So yeah. And this one's not bad. It's pretty much done. I mean, it's okay. It looks like a face that's not happy. Silly me. It's got a really narrow chin and a a growl, grimace on his face. Sorry, dude. Okay. Yeah, that's not so great, but this is the one I just did. So that's looking better here a little bit, somewhat. I don't know. So I was going to roll it down. Sometimes I'm not sure how much, you know, this close-up view is helpful because you don't get a full, you know, panoramic view of what's going on the quilt. But yeah, I'm just not sure how but it does have a better focus. So, all right, we're almost done. I made one pointy mistake on that one. I'm starting to think that when I lift my right foot, it's easy to lift the right foot, go to the right, shuffle to the right as I'm going down. It's like I start putting weight on the right foot as I'm, like if I'm here and I'm going down, I put weight on the right foot. Let's see. Weight on the right foot, lift the left, press down the left, right foot stepped, and then weight on the right foot, left foot step, right foot, something like that. I don't know. Yeah, that one, I don't know, like right here I messed up, there I messed up, here I got a little flat, but I mean, I'm happy with it all in all. I got 2 more to do to practice, so I'll try to step correctly and not talk and try to concentrate. Okay. Okay, I had a little bobble there. I tried to do the stepping, but it's still hard for me. I'm gonna write Stitched by Susan and ask her if she could have a video on that. I think I can't possibly be the only person that is having that issue. And I mean, you know, this is a continuous design. There's no stopping. There's no points. Usually when there's a point, that's your time to step and regroup and, you know, or if you're doing a panto, you know exactly which point you can take a step and how to shift your weight at that specific point. But okay, last one. This is the ruler one. So it should be easy and pretty. No pressure. I messed up a couple spots, but it wasn't bad. Now, do I want to fill in the edges, the top and bottom edges here with something? I mean, that's less than an inch there, but here is probably more than an inch, you know. So like right here, well, I'd have to measure it from here. So yeah, it's like an inch and an eighth. So, I mean, if I did, it would be really shallow. And it would just be humps and then straight, hump, straight. Well, this would be a valley. So I think I'm going to let it go. Quit while I'm ahead. So yeah, let's see what it looks like. I think I like it. I really think I like it. It looks better in person, to be honest. Let's see if I can walk this over. I do like it. And like I said, it really does look better in person, unless it's just because I'm looking through the camera, you know. But it's very organic, and I could try to go way overhead. I think I like it. The monument looks good. This looks like crap. All right. Well, oh, look, I forgot one. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Okay, let's do that one. All this time I'm looking at it and I didn't even see that. Let's go back to the needle. That's so funny. It's right in front of my face and I didn't see it. Okay. Oh, we get to practice some more. Oh, silly girl. Watch, I'll run out of thread. Oh, it says 30%. I better not run out. I'd die. Okay, so this one I have to be cognizant because I'm going over the applique. I have to, oh, what are you going to do? I might have to make it wide on one and narrow on the other. Oh dear. Okay, here we go. Okay, for that whole pass, something was pulling, and it was my cord from my camera. I had it stuck on something. God. Oh well. So it was this one right here. Look at how I messed up there. I wasn't walking by that point. I got really narrow here because I wasn't walking. And this is a spot where I needed to get wider because this is so wide and I screwed it up. But in here I did okay. I was so nervous. I bobbled a little bit there. There I got wide because I knew I wanted to go wide because of everything going on there. So that's okay. So I started out okay, but when I stopped walking again, that was my issue. So let's go to the... I'm going to lighten it just a little bit. Okay, so now it's really true. That's so funny that I didn't notice it. Well, because I'm looking through the camera. Look at this, was my last one and it looks so good. Because I was doing my natural way. It always looks better at an angle, you know, it's like artistic. There she is. It does look organic. And it's gonna look good on the quilt, to be honest. Let me grab an applique, even though there's nothing on these appliques. Oh wait, where is it? You know, you just kind of have to picture it with lines going through it. Plus, in my embroidery software, I have the Serpentines, but I don't have them like this. Now, do we have one like this? Or can I can actually put, I can put two Serpentines over themselves, two Serpentine objects on my embroidery screen, and then just offset one of them a 1/4 inch higher. You know, bring it up. And then I can get the same effect, so I could see it over these foxes and whatnot. Yep. Well, It's either that or I fix my stencils or I make a stencil that's just serpentine, the ones that I like. I can make a stencil for this. Or at least the 1-inch part of it, and then I can just echo the other one with the foot. Or I could do a pantograph, but I don't want to. I want to stay in front. I want to stay in because I want to see when I go over them, how I'm going over them and everything. So let's put this one back. I'm going to probably do a video on just maybe doing one of these. Now, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to safety pin each of them up there. I'm not going to use tape. I'll just do safety pin and then bring it to my sewing machine. So let's see, I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 4. I have 16. Oh my gosh, I'm going to be there all day. Remember, I was only going to put a fox applique in each of the big black rectangles. That would have just been like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now I have 16. Oh my gosh. It looks a little wild. It's okay. Maybe I'll have it done by Thanksgiving because it is a fall quilt. The Rebel quilt. All right, guys. Well, I think I'll put this video out and then also the one of me making the little applique. And then I'll do a lot of these off camera and then maybe I'll chime in and do 1 or 2 on screen. All right, then. We'll see you next time. Bye.